Okay, in this video I'm going to be discussing my process and essentially how I paint in Photoshop, and in this particular video I'm study drawing the character Atsuko from Yu Yu Hakusho. She's the main character's mom, and I think she's very attractive, so I decided to do some studies of her from the anime. I forgot to hit record on the sketching phase of my process. I'll do that in a future video, but as you can see, I'm just inking it with I believe that's Mark Brunet's square brush, just pure black. I really like the feel of that brush. I think it has like a good give to it. It kind of reminds me of like a felt marker, like fine tip. You know, it's a little bit more forgiving, kind of like a pencil. Whereas if I were to use something like the default round hard brush in Photoshop, like any twitch of the hand, it's a lot more easily caught. You can see every little deviation and mistake. You know, now some people are really good at that. I'm not, so I prefer to ink with Mark Brunet's square brush, and I think it's still free if you want to check out his YouTube channel or like his website that he worked on there. So get that. It's really awesome. His brush pack is great. So pretty much I take my time kind of hammering down the drawing. You know, the anime style is something I like to practice, and Yu Yu Hakusho, it's like that classic sort of 90s style anime, you know, that I like. Just really finalizing the line work at this point. And now, as you can see, I'm masking it up. I'm putting my first base underneath the line work. And I do that so I can later create color clipping masks on top of it. I'm just making sure everything has a very, you know, clean border around all the characters, the places where I want the first initial color to go. And I make it a bit darker so that I can, you know, see what I'm doing. You know, I can clearly see where the edges are, you know, just erasing out, making like a cool pattern for everything to flow into. I like to use the lasso tool, but sometimes I just brush it in, you know. Okie dokie. Getting a little pedantic about it. Okay. So now I'm starting to mask off the initial flat layer. You know, I'm sampling from stills that are off screen, you know, stills from the show. But I'll kind of adjust and play around with the colors to fit my monitor. You know, I'm no expert at color. That's something I definitely need to practice more of. So I'm just kind of seeing what works by sampling off the things. Sometimes I feel like I'll need to make the skin a bit darker, maybe the clothing a bit lighter, just to make things match nicely. But for now, I'm just kind of flavoring all the figures, you know, just trying to get everything installed nicely. Okay, so here I'm putting the shading on. This is going to be what makes it really pop in the end. I'm working on the hair of this character, making it especially dark, trying to conform to the contours This cell shading in most animes is really what makes everything pop and just kind of like fleshes everything out, makes everything look nice and lifelike. It's complex yet graphic at the same time, and I love that hybridization of style. Just working on the shirt, trying to warm up the colors a little bit. Like pink shading on the skin, it makes it look like there's blood and life and vitality in a figure. And this is the part where I have the most fun. You know, just bringing all the characters to life, shaping them out, making them look more three-dimensional. One technical thing to note about my process for those of you that would like to make anime figures in this style, if you have Photoshop or any other drawing program, is that from bottom to top in my layers, if you'll notice, I start with the base where I mask everything out, and then I do the flats on top of that. I clipping mask that, and then on top of that, for my shadows, I clipping mask that as well. And then for my lights, I'll either make a third clipping mask or put a layer right above my inks if I want the lighting graphic shapes to go above my line work in some cases. And here you'll see me actually using my lasso tool to carve out shapes in a shadow I've already created, so you can see the flat layer underneath, which kind of makes like a lighting shape without having to create another layer on top, which will be like the second brightest. So for me, some of you might take issue with the fact that I'm putting dark shadows and light shadows on the same layer, but I really just like keeping it simple. I'm not an artist that likes to create 1,000,001 layers all in the same Photoshop document. Even if I do have a beefy enough computer that can run it, I just like to keep things simple and organized, and I don't want to have to spend a bunch of time making like decisions about where everything goes. I just kind of want to approach things more naturally. So at this point, I put some more lighting shapes upon the hair to make it pop out. I throw in a simple background, and I title it. And there you have it. More videos to come in the future. Peace.